Oh boy, E3's around the corner! I have my hopes stupidly high for what's probably not going to be announced, what we could see, and what I'm expecting to play for the next 6 months. Nintendo stated that the Direct will mostly concentrate on 2021, but sometimes they like to throw in some 2022 stuff in there. There's so many games that I'm anticipating, but shortening the list to just this year, I don't really know where to start. Actually, that's a lie. I definitely know where to start. Breath of the Wild 2. We got the trailer back in 2019 and haven't really heard too much about it since. It's gotta be time. If not for an exact release date, at least like a month and maybe some kind of extended trailer. Worst case, we'll see Aonuma on screen telling us that they're not quite ready to show us anything yet. Ah, God, I'll be heartbroken. I'm so lost at how much of this game we'll actually see. It all depends on how Nintendo handled the development during the pandemic. I expect Breath of the Wild 2 to be released somewhat soon. I was really hoping for a holiday release, but with the Pokemon remakes now releasing in late November, I don't think they'd throw something as big as Breath of the Wild 2 along with it. Because of this, I'm thinking it's gonna be a 2022 game. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo wanted to get it out before the end of their fiscal year, so maybe a spring release? Or I'm being far too hopeful and will be disappointed seeing Aonuma's face again. Speaking of Zelda, Skyward Sword HD is releasing on July 16th. Don't really know what Nintendo would show off on a game that we already played 10 years ago. Maybe if there's anything extra that they added, kind of like the amiibo functionality for the new Loftwing amiibo, but otherwise, I don't think it has any substance to add to a treehouse presentation. But that doesn't mean that they won't show some gameplay to refresh our memories of the game. Maybe. Finally, for Zelda, we'll probably hear about the Age of Calamity DLC since the first wave releases in June. And it is June. That's probably all we'll see for Zelda stuff. Unless they decide to do some kind of port of a past game for the 35th anniversary, which I'm really not expecting. Zelda won't get anywhere near the Mario anniversary treatment. A game I fully expect to see, Pokemon. Again, the remakes will release in November, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something during the Treehouse presentation. Maybe we'll get a deeper look at the tiny chibiness of Diamond and Pearl remakes. Something I want to see more of, speaking of Pokemon, Arceus Legends. It's most likely not anywhere really close to being finished, but I really want to learn more about it. We haven't heard anything outside of the original trailer, and I want to see it all. Is it truly open world? What's the battle system look like? How does the catching mechanic work? We know like almost nothing aside from what was shown in the trailer. Give me more! It would be a good game to take up a hefty chunk of the 3-hour Treehouse presentation, but I guess that depends on how close to done the game actually is. I feel like it's almost guaranteed that we'll see at least one new Smash character. A trailer with an announcement for the next Sakurai presentation to see how the new fighters played. These presentations are usually edited down a bit, so I feel like it's not something that would be in a Treehouse segment. Although, not too sure how Treehouse is gonna go this year. Usually, Nintendo of America Treehouse people sit on a stage with the developers while they play through parts of the game, and give a good overview about how things work. It's usually done live, but I'm curious how it's going to work this year with everything being virtual. Assuming it's going to be more of a live thing rather than a 3-hour edited video, I'm guessing the new Smash character will indeed have its own presentation later. I would also love to see Splatoon 3 gameplay. Give us a better look at the new weapons like the bow and some of the new specials. I feel like there are so many games releasing that we've seen 1 2 to 3 minute trailer for, and then the game pretty much falls off the face of the earth. Give me more, Nintendo! I want more Splatoon! We'll for sure see a lot of Mario Golf. Honestly, this game looks incredibly fun, especially the speed golf mode, which is like ultimate golf multiplayer. I expect a good chunk of this game to be shown off during the Treehouse segment. Cross your fingers for good online experience, unlike some games on the Switch. Now let's get to the titles that I'm not super sure of. New Horizons! Oh god, I'm hoping for a 2.0 announcement. There was a data mine last year that revealed so much information on possible future mechanics. Some were included, like diving and art, but a lot was left out. This could have been the developers completely changing their mind about what to include, or if they wanted to add anything at all. But it got my hopes so high, dang it! I got too excited! If New Horizons is going to get any kind of major update, E3 seems like the perfect time to announce it. I feel like if we don't get anything at E3, New Horizons might actually be in its final build. With that being said, New Leaf got a huge welcome amiibo update 4 years after launch, so it's not completely strange for Nintendo to go back and release something after most of the fanbase has fallen away from the game. Metroid Prime 4 has been MIA since its announcement. How long ago? 4 years? That was 4 years ago? My god. The game changed developers during the production and was even scrapped and restarted at one point. In October of last year, Retro Studios, who's the company that took it over, posted a job ad for a storyboard artist, so hopefully we'll see a trailer or maybe hear something about it. I guess the question is, has it been in Retro's hands long enough for the trailer to be ready? This also makes me question where Bayonetta 3 is. Another game that was announced just about 4 years ago, with almost no news since. The only thing we've heard is from a VGC interview at the beginning of 2021, with developers saying that it was safe to expect some type of news will come out this year, but then followed up by saying we should all forget about Bayonetta 3, so when an announcement does eventually happen, it'll be a nice surprise. That makes me feel better. I don't really know what to think. Mario Kart 9? Maybe? I know it's a stretch. There are a couple reasons I think that there's a chance that we could see something maybe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a port, if you forgot about the existence of the Wii U, which, most of us do, released 4 years ago on the Switch, with the original releasing in 2014. 7 years! That is so long. Not to mention, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sits on the top of the best-selling Switch game list with over 35 million copies sold. It almost feels stupid to not release another Mario Kart game on the Switch. On the other hand, maybe there's less of a demand for a new installment if 35 million people already own a Mario Kart game on the Switch. They did release Mario Kart Live, which was a really cool but not full Mario Kart experience. It's just strange that Nintendo would go 7 years without work on a new mainline Mario Kart. Honestly though, I don't really expect to hear anything about Mario Kart. I wanted to throw it out there with the hopes that maybe something will show up sometime soon. We're definitely due. Unless they're waiting for the inevitable Switch Pro release, which, by the way, do not expect an announcement for this at E3. Nintendo isn't one to announce new consoles at the event. Take all the leaks you hear with a grain of salt. They may have contained accurate information at one point, but the pandemic and chip shortage really make production difficult. Speaking of games that haven't released in a while, I would love to see a new Xenoblade Chronicles game. I know we got the original's definitive edition recently, but it almost seemed like a here, have this for now while we work on stuff game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 released 4 years ago. This 4 years thing seems to be a pattern. Though it did have a hefty DLC release in 2018. Still, it's time for more, please? Pretty please? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new Kirby or Yoshi game around this time too. It's been a little bit since we got new games for these franchises. With that being said, who knows how much effort they could spare during the pandemic to put work into these shorter games. My predictions definitely lean towards probably not gonna happen end of things. I guess they're more my hopes. 2020 was such a crazy year that I don't really know what to expect. I feel like we're all grasping at thin air trying to guess what Nintendo would bring to us. My hopes for new games are far too high. I'm gonna try to squash any excitement I have for huge series announcements and just expect to see the games that we've already heard about, like Skyward Sword, Mario Golf, and Pokemon. Everything else is just a strong want and desire for something new to play on the Switch. What do you want to see at E3 from Nintendo? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!